jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports. Talking way too much, world come back sports.
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. The first in the building, big blunts and boxing on deck. What's good with the blunts? I see you. He said, what's good, OG? Salute to you in the hottest chat in the MF and game. No doubt, man. Salute to you. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease in the building. Salute to you on deck. Salute WCS, my big bro, big blunts and boxing. Yes, sir. Salute to everybody that's on deck. This is not going to be an extremely long one, but we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about some revelations that WCS attempted to speak on. You know what I'm saying? I attempted to, give y'all some direction on where this was going in a matter of days. So there was a time and a place where we can actually that Ryan Garcia was the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia's controversy was the absolute talk of the YTC. We can agree that, right? We can agree that Ryan Garcia, when it came to the YTC voices, they thought he was the devil. Seriously, they thought Ryan Garcia was the devil. They felt that man had did the ultimate sin, and there's nothing nobody could say to change their mind, y'all. I'm talking about they call him every name in the book when it came to being racist. But look, I carefully tried to explain to them that if you don't see his sponsors holding him accountable, then why take so much time and effort to believe that, you're doing 20 freaking lives on him is going to change anything? It didn't change anything at all. Because the word itself, though it is highly offensive, especially amongst my people, when someone like Ryan Garcia says it in the manner for which he said it, you know what I'm saying, maliciously, there are going to be certain people that take a closer look at it, render a punishment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with the WBC. They rendered a punishment while he's suspended. A simple punishment. They gave him a punishment while he's still suspended. You know what I'm saying? And I also told you all that Ryan Garcia situation as far as his drug test, the Ostarine, it wasn't going to return back to what y'all think it was. And what I meant by that is playing out. It's playing out. I really never was talking about so much the A and B side, but you wasn't going to get the satisfaction that you need from him testing positive for Ostarine, a performance enhancing drug that a lot of people didn't know about. But they attempted to make themselves unqualified experts. You know what I'm saying? They tried to make as much of a protest as possible, but yet it quickly died out. And it's funny how it went from Ryan Garcia talking about him effing the blacks and F the Muslims to now the blacks saying F. Shakur Stevenson, who is Puerto Rican and black, and all the focus is on him. You know what I'm saying? All the focus is on Shakur Stevenson. Imagine how that worked. You remember when I said it's only going to be another 2 to 3 days that people are talking about it? Well, what's going on? Another 2 to 3 days as has passed, and everybody is talking about Shakur Stevenson's fight. They're talking about Shakur Stevenson so bad that you would think he the one who used the N word inappropriately in the wrong context and said what he said against black people. You know what I'm saying? You would think he's the one said that he'll never lose to a white boy. You would think Shakur Stevenson said that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to tell you all that when it came down to Ryan Garcia, he knows some people. You just can't go up here and say what he said without actually seeing something play out, or that person disappearing, or happen to go, down to the station, down to an office and talk about your behavior. I know they love doing vets that way. They love doing us that way. Real talk. If we on here talking about certain things and we have, PTSD, they love sending people over. Hey, what's going on? Somebody said that people love to tell on a vet. Hey, he's showing concerns. They're showing concerns. Maybe something should be happening. They're quick. But Ryan Garcia, he did a poor job with policing himself. We know that. He did a poor job at policing himself. But also, another lackluster half effort was that we didn't see any other sponsorships get dropped to anything. Okay? I'm just gonna leave that. I put that at the tail end of my description. Garcia controversy quiets. Yes, it did quiet. Because people didn't find it interesting enough to continue to talk about it. They wanted to go to the new algorithm populated. They wanted to talk about Shakur Stevenson's performance and how they felt that it didn't live up to expectations. They was going at Shakur Stevenson just as hard as they was going at Ryan Garcia. Seriously. They was going at him pretty dang hard. Mike on deck. What's good with it, Mike? But let's get down to the task at hand. Jaron Ennis, July 13th. That is the fight card right there. Just wanted to let y'all know. Let y'all take a gander at the fight card. There's gonna be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Jaron Boots Ennis will be taking on David Avanesyan in the main event. And we have a pretty, solid undercard. Real talk. You have a pretty solid undercard. You have at least 5 fighters on there that's undefeated, that's hosting O's. You know what I'm saying? You have Scott Nicholson. You have Jaleel Hackett. You have Khalil Cole. And also Ismail Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to include the debut because it's a debut. But you have 5 fighters on there hosting undefeated records. That's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you tune in and show your support for the Matchroom card that's going on over there in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. So looking at everything that comes into this equation, right? With Jaron Boots Ennis. If you didn't know who he was, let me tell you his record again: 31 victories, opposite 0 defeats, and 28 knockouts. Okay, it's very important that you know that he's 5'10", 74-inch reach. He holds the 90 percentile, 0.32% ratio. Okay, his last win was against Ramon Villa, July 8, 2023. So he's going to go into this fight just outside the back door of a year. Just outside of a year. Okay? He stopped Villa in the 10th round. He stopped him in the 10th round. Okay? That was a 12-rounder in defense of his interim IBF world title. Okay? So now he's stepping in there with David Avanesyan. And if you're looking at the thumbnail, um, to be honest with you, hopefully my creativity didn't throw anybody off. They got confused, anything. You feel me? It's always a message to every thumbnail I put out there. What it says is expectation versus domination. One has to outperform the other. And that's from WCS himself. And what I mean by the expectation versus domination, the expectation is for Jaron Ennis to pretty much go in there and show the world that he is at a level where at this point with him, being champion, he haven't really did anything, with the straps. I'm just being honest. He haven't really did anything with the IBF title. This is going to be his first defense from receiving a notification title. But the expectations based off his talent, his skill set, and his potential. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at his potential barometer. The barometer of potential for him in the future is unlimited. Because he is a talented fighter, highly talented fighter. So they expect him to go in there and disperse of David Avanesyan. They expect him to go in there and disperse of David Avanesyan. David Avanesyan comes in at 30 victories, opposite of 4 defeats, 1 draw, 18 knockouts. He's been stopped twice. One of those stoppages was Terrence Crawford, okay, December 10th, 2022. And the other stoppage was Edis Kavalauskas back in February 2018, okay? So, in between time, you can put a couple of years in between those knockouts. And then he went over there and fought a 6th rounder, like I said, and he's due to step back in there with Jaron Ennis, this weekend. Now, the domination aspect and how I want to label that is a lot of people believe that the name Boots Ennis, the domination should be way more higher than the expectation. Because they believe that a fighter like Avanesyan, a fighter that they denounced as being credible, they reduced his value. They were saying Crawford was pretty much fighting a bum. They said he was pretty much nobody. So heading to this fight, after Cody Crowley dropped out, the expectation for Jaron Ennis was to do what he do. He's coming off a knockout win over Villa. He's supposed to go in there and show out. But how is he going to show out? If he's going to show out, they expecting, and the team is anticipating that their fighter will go in there and dominate. The fans are looking at it like, yeah, we expect Jaron Ennis to go in there and give us something that's entertaining, but we don't know if he's going to go in there and dominate. And I'm telling you in the thumbnail that one has to outperform the other. Jaron Ennis, based off what they said and how they valued David Avanesyan, he has to go over there and dominate. His domination needs to far exceed the expectation that they have for him to go in there and win. The expectation is minimal at the end of the day. That's what's supposed to happen with Ennis. They expect him to go in there and win. That many professional fights, you expect it. But are we expecting him to dominate? Because it's been a little bit shaky. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little breezy when it comes to the dominating part of it. It's not just automatic like a lot of people thought it would be when he really starts stepping up the competition. He hasn't really been dominating like we expected. But one has to outperform the other. What is it going to be? The expectation to go in there and win, he wins. Okay, cool. How did he win? Did he go to the decision? Did he get the stoppage? Did he flat out dominate? You already know where I'm going with it. We're not playing around with the scales. The way boxing is right now and the way the 147-pound division is shaking up, Jaron has to go in there and straight up get this guy out of there. He has to go in there and make a statement. Crawford fought this man in his backyard and stopped him in 6 rounds, and they can say what they want about the gloves. The fight got done. Crawford didn't allow the fight to surpass a common opponent he had already faced that stopped David Avanesyan. So the mentality of a fighter saying, hey, I already stopped Igor Kavalauskas, who stopped David Avanesyan. I'm going to do the same. I also understand that I'm fighting at home in Omaha, and I'm not going to go in here and close this dude out in 2 to 3 rounds. That's just not cool. So I'm going to take it a little bit. Yes, I'm saying Crawford carried Avanesyan a little bit just because the house was packed. He carried him. So he carried Avanesyan and then got him up out of there in 6 rounds when he was supposed to. Flatlined him. ER. Flatline. Defibrillator, please. Defibrillator. Defibrillator. Clear. 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 Yeah, they was goddamn bringing Avanesyan back to life. Can Jaron Ennis do that? Now, understand this, David. If you go in there and give us some Bruce Seldon activity where Jaron Ennis hits you and you flopping around, you give us the Jake Paul opponent freaking activity. Yeah, you're going to be fighting outside the U.S. for a long time. You know what I'm saying, Avanesyan? If you go in here and what is called laying down, when you go in here and show people that you took the orders, it's not going to be pretty. And you know what? It's not going to do any benefit for Jaron Ennis either. Because right now, boxing is so freaking short-tempered, man. The tolerance level is low. We seeing what's going on with Shakur Stevenson, right? Boxing is so freaking impulsive right now. The boxing fans, like, they ain't standing for nothing. They like, man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired with these performances. Boxers coming in here with the orders. Then the referees want to stop the fight whenever they feel like it. The judges just want to do what the hell they want to do. I'm sick of it, bro. That's what they saying. I'm sick of it. So, we don't know for sure how many, is David Avanesyan tip-top condition than he was when he fought Green Machine and Terrence Bud Crawford. But what we don't want to see is that you give us the Bruce Seldon, fish out of water flopping on the deck and nothing ever. You didn't have a hook in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have a hook in your mouth. You can't go in there and just flop around. So we're gonna say that David Avanesyan have some pride. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't go in here and throw the fight. But back to Ennis though. I put this thumbnail on Twitter for you to see it, Ennis. And I know you and your team have seen it. Because I tagged you in it. It's no ill intent. But when you look at the way it's described, those individuals behind you, they get the job done in brutal. They're in brutal fashion. They do it in brutal fashion, there, Ennis. That's what they do. They do it in brutal fashion. Seriously. Just because I put them behind you doesn't mean you're leading from the front. I put them behind you because you have a fight coming up this weekend. And I didn't want them 2 individuals that's behind you to be a distraction. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, when something is behind you, gives you a little bit of fright. You know what I'm saying? You know they back there. You know it, but you just don't want to look over your shoulder because you focus on your fight, right, Ennis? You don't hear that music, do you? Shh, shh, shh. Shh. Shh, shh, shh. You don't hear that music, do you? You don't hear the footsteps, do you, Ennis? That's why I try to make them far as back as possible, because they get the job done in brutal fashion. That, Ennis, you need to scare some people. This the whole point, I was trying to make with you need to go out there in brutal fashion and scare some people. You know what I'm saying? You need to basically outweigh the expectation of coming there and dominate. You need to do it in such a way that you have people switching up to talk about you and we get some positive energy in this boxing. Because right now, all we got is negative. Negative, 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 negative. Seriously. They was dogging Deontay Wilder out for losing against Zhang. Okay, they were saying how much he, this, that, and the other. And then they switched it over to the build up for Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And then they started talking about what was going on with the lead up and the promo and everything like that. It was back and forth on what fighter's gonna do what to whoever. Then, we had a lot of, you know, part-time Christians. Then somebody sucked my D and all that. Ryan was putting all the controversial freaking agitprop out there for them to suck that up. You know what I'm saying? Soak that all in, sponge that up. So people was just talking about that. Then you had the fight itself. We seen how that played out. People was dogging Devin out. And then Ryan popped dirty. Now we dive in like Greg Louganis in an empty pool. And people want to start becoming Ostarine experts. Then you have people out here trying to become snack experts. And then, we just have a full-blown controversial dialogue that's going out here, that's going on in the YTC, that you're talking about conspiracy theories. You're talking about we need to bring in some type of investigative team to figure out what's going on. So we was waiting and waiting and waiting to see what happened with Ryan Garcia, and all the you know what I'm saying, the backlash was going on. The smear campaign was going on. Ryan didn't stay indoors. He didn't hide. He was out there talking, telling people, hey, I didn't do this. This is a con job. And this, then why do I have to take, Ostarine for Devin? Why would I have to do anything? Then come to find out, he hired a guy named Scooter. And he's supposed to be well known, but his connections to Team Haney, it might have been one of the best goddamn con jobs, heist of someone's character I've seen in boxing in a long, long time. So he tests positive, and now he's currently suspended for a year. And at this point in time, Ryan Garcia, with a little bit of boredom on his hand, it's hard being 25 with 100 million. So he say, right? He gets bored and everything, and all of a sudden he has a moment. He has a moment where him and his friends don't have nothing better to do. And he wants to get online and have a racist rant. I don't believe that was genuine for Ryan. I don't. I believe that was planned. I believe that was intent to stir up a lot of controversy, and it happened after he was suspended. Think about it. If Ryan was, feeling this way for quite some time, and all these people that say they've been around Ryan, and he was a nice dude, why would it be masked with alcohol? It's no reason. A racist is going to be a racist, period. Forget what they say, a sober man thoughts. I mean, a drunken man words is a sober man thoughts. Yeah, in some cases that's true, but I'm not buying the recreational drug use or the alcoholism. Why would you have to be drunk? That's not the first time. The man said he was drinking and smoking, right? So you won't ever convince me that he decided to take this opportunity in this moment of whatever he was drinking and he was on to let his friends hype him up to use the N-word. Not the but the You know what I'm saying? And also disrespect Muslims. So what did WCS do? I did a live and I said, I haven't heard any Muslim hierarchy, any of the elite, any of those who was going to speak on Ryan. I haven't heard them say anything. I haven't heard of any sponsors separating or disconnecting themselves from Ryan Garcia because of the controversy of him using the N-word. They simply don't value it the same as you disrespecting the Jews or making an anti Semitic comment. They don't value it the same. They don't. People need to get it in their thick brains that they don't value the disrespect. The severity, yes, to a certain point, okay. But it doesn't warrant people to stop what they're doing just to prove to who? And that's another thing, boxing. Who are you proving it to? Boxing? Who's in charge of boxing? And that's another avenue. It's no way for them to say who are we proving this to? The public? Who watches boxing? Where's the fan base? Who can we separate? Where can we itemize the fan base for boxing? I'm telling you, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult to figure out. It's very difficult because boxing is a non-regulated sport, but it's no president. There's no one to file a grievance or complaint. So Ryan disrespecting the Muslims and the blacks. Gatorade haven't jumped on that. I mean, they have athletes who are sponsored by them. Nike have athletes. What they tell them? They tell them they couldn't use the N word. Did they tell them they couldn't use the N word with an ER on it? I mean, I haven't heard one public statement that they was dropping Ryan. Ryan said himself he's lost sponsors, but I haven't heard anything publicly that what sponsors he had dropped has spoken public about as to why they have separated themselves from Ryan Garcia. I haven't heard. Real talk. Y'all know him. Y'all know I'm not lying about that. What's going on, Brooklyn in the building? Shout out to AC in the building. What's good with it? Salute, brother. Okay. Saying my volume's low. I'm kind of talking kind of low too. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm not I'm not exerting, I'm not maximizing my volume right now, AC. So that's probably why it's a little bit low. But that's where I'm at with the whole situation of the negativity. You know what I'm saying? It was like very, very bad precipitation here in the YTC. And when boxing stalls out the way it do, and you still have several weeks before August 3rd, people are kind of bored. And this fight has been talked about for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? This Jaron, Ennis and freaking Avanesyan, but hardly anybody was talking about the fight. We just came off Shakur Stevenson. We knew that fight was on the horizon. But I guess the fight fans didn't really gravitate to his opponent. Shakur Stevenson and Jaron Ennis is kind of in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of in the same boat, real talk. They have one oar, and it's like putting a freaking canoe in a foot of water. It ain't going nowhere. They was trying to see, like, should I invest my time believing that Shakur is going to go in there and give us excitement? They was already dogging him out from the De Los Santos fight. So they was saying that, hey, they going in there with low expectations to minimize the disappointment. You heard what I said? They went in there with low expectations to minimize the disappointment, because Shakur has been on record as saying that he don't give a F about what the fans think he's gonna do what he want to do. Jaron Ennis, on the other hand, he'll never say some stuff like that. But on the other side of this, he's struggling with the media presence too. Crawford struggled for a long time with the media because he just didn't want to do it. So he started shining on his way out the door. These guys are in their 20s and they're struggling with media right now. It's crazy. They're just not doing enough in the media. Now, they say good exposure. Any exposure is good exposure. That's what Shakur Stevenson is getting right now, because he's actually, thinking about it. I cannot be a hypocrite and say he needs to stay off Twitter. What I would say, Shakur, is that just like I put out here the expectation versus domination, it's going to come a time where somebody's going to say, okay, your Twitter aggressiveness needs to equal your in-ring aggressiveness. I know you spent several hours going at Cam and Mace. I mean, several hours. Several freaking hours. But Jaron Ennis, on the other hand, he's out of sight, out of mind. Both of these fighters, when it comes to the media, are hurting themselves. You know, people are looking at Shakur being in the media because he's busy trying to basically vindicate himself from all the, you know, the negative freaking press that he's getting. Jaron Ennis, don't nobody know where he's at. We know he in the gym, but he ain't saying nothing. It's Wednesday, and we didn't even get a presser today. You know, we might get one tomorrow, but we looking forward to see David Avanesyan on fight week. It's fight week, and I'm saying, damn, I'm about to call Shaw News up and say, hey, Shaw, man, we need for some YouTube, some content creator to drop over there. But I know he just came back from a fight. But I'm like, hey, send one of your daughters out there. They got a catalog now. Send one of your daughters out there to cover the fight. We need some freaking content out here on the IG. You know what I'm saying? Just give her a camera and some spending money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hearing or seeing hardly any content with this fight with Boots, but him and Shakur is pretty much in the same boat right now when it comes to being fan friendly. Jaron Ennis' attitude is way better than Shakur at the end of the day. He's much more respected for having that type of courtesy about him, but his personality, it's like looking at tree bark. You know what I'm saying? His personality is like sitting there, you know what I'm saying, knowing you wear glasses, you know what I'm saying? You wear glasses to see better, but you're staring at a droplet of tree sap. You know, you're trying to see if it's going to drop. Okay, here we go. You're sitting there watching a freaking cocoon, you know, go through the maturation process and the transformation into a butterfly. You know what I'm saying? That's Jaron Ennis' freaking personality. Real talk. I'm not dogging him out. Really, he's a nice dude, bro. But you have to go in there and satisfy the fans. You're in a predicament just like Shakur a little bit. People know that you're extremely talented, and it's a lot of hype that's coming in for this fight. Not so much for the expectations that you to go and defeat Avanesyan, but it's the HOW there, Ennis. It's the HOW. It's the how will you defeat. I don't want to disrespect you and say IF, India Foxtrot over. I don't want to disrespect you like that. That'd be disrespectful. But I will go along with the Hector Oscar whiskey. How will you defeat Avanesyan? Will it be moments in the fight that have people scratching their head, or have people with a clenched fist rooting you on and say, that's what we're talking about. That's what we want to see, Ennis. That's what we wanted to see right there, man. I have on here 3 or less. You have to do 3 or less, brother. You have to do 3 or less because you're younger. You're the phenom. You have the entire welterweight division, the landscape to deal with. You in a hot division right now, and you're supposed to be the biggest name in that division. You need to go in here and have one of the questionable. You know what I'm saying? The fight of the night. You need to go in there and break up Avanesyan, get him up out of there, so you can move on to the next one in unification. That's what needs to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts, no question marks, no nothing, no doubt, no optimism, no nothing. They say, hey, regardless, people are not going to do you like this, Ennis. They're not going to say, well, Ennis and Crawford knocked him out. No. They're not going to do that. They know that Avanesyan is a quality opponent. They just didn't want to give Crawford credit for it. But he's a quality opponent. You have to go in there and show that you are levels above Avanesyan, just like Crawford and Igor Kavalauskas did. That's all. Don't make this a difficult fight, bro. Don't let this fight go a breath, a rabbit's hair. The whisker on a mice. Don't let it go one whisker into the fourth round, brother. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Because they say you are the Crawford 2, 3, 4.5, 6.0. You are the switch hitter of all switch hitters. You're the next in line to take over. Your destiny is written. All you have to do is go into the light, walk into the light. And the only way you get to the light is that you are blessed. You are anointed. You know what I'm saying? They got to send the light your way. And it's boxing. The boxing gods have not removed themselves from the pantheon yet there, Ennis, and came to you and shined the light and say, come, my friend. It is time. It is time. They haven't invited you to the light and gave you the silk linen yet, Ennis. The boxing gods haven't did that yet. They haven't anointed you yet, brother. We're waiting. We're waiting for you to be anointed. You have to be anointed, man. Philly boxing, stand up. You have to be anointed. You need to go in here and basically excel past the expectations and dominate. That's all I'm saying, people. Shout out to the queen on deck, Jessica in the building. What's good with it, queen? How you feeling? Haynes Legacy on deck. What's good with it, brother? Salute to you and the fam. D-Ray live on the drive on deck. What's good with it, D-Ray? No, he doing everything better than Bud, WCS. Yeah. You know, I seen the transition with Jessica. You know, she used to be quiet in the chat. Now she's soaked up the intel. She's been listening, I swear. You know, she's been doing some homework. Real talk. I ain't mad at you, man. You've been, you know, listening. You can tell you've been soaking in that knowledge. Yeah. He does everything better than Bud. Real talk. He does everything better. But you have to go in there and do it better than Bud did. Even though your team was devaluing, criticizing, you know what I'm saying? They was doing everything possible to say that the fight with Bud and Avanesyan was pointless. They criticized the shit out of Bud for fighting Avanesyan. I remember Boza said he did what he's supposed to do. Who is that? Ava who? Huh? And they was up there laughing. Well, hey, Team Ennis, I'm wishing y'all the best going in there this weekend. Real talk. I'm wishing y'all nothing but the best. I want to see the brother go get the victory. I do. But I only can say this. I have to remind you all, hopefully this is something that you've learned. I don't want it to be a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be a lesson. But I just want you to understand, don't take certain, you know, too many things in boxing for granted. You know, especially if you're in the same division. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm going to say you have the notification belt. But you have to go in there in your first defense and cross the T's and definitely dot Avanesyan's I's, bro. We cannot see the Quran duplicate. You hears me? We cannot witness the Quran duplicate. We don't want to see that. It's unacceptable. We do not want to see another performance like you did with Quran Choo Choo. You know what I'm saying? Talking about not knowing a fighter. You know what I'm saying? To go the distance with not knowing a fighter, that's just unacceptable. That's just unacceptable, that performance. But Ennis, you have to go in here and show the people, bro. You have to cross your T's and dot Avanesyan's I's, both of them. We don't care if you get a TKO or KO. We don't care. As long as you go in there and dominate this dude and get him up out of there. And of course, the magic number there, Ennis, is number 3. Because you're young, you're the phenom. You know what I'm saying? They say you're the next up. You know what I'm saying? You do everything better than Crawford. Guess what? You have to go in here and show us. Okay? Period. I want y'all to hear something. I want to switch up right quick to, the fighter that they've been talking about for quite some time, Shakur Stevenson. The last several days coming off his some people say he did what he's supposed to, and some people, believe otherwise. But I want you to understand how boxing switches up on you in a heartbeat. It's tough being an MF fighter, bro. I don't know why these dudes want to go through this. Seriously, but it's tough being a boxer because you just have narratives being pushed around so easily. Listen to this freaking reach, okay? Listen to what people are saying now. The narrative that they're going to be pushing soon. Pay attention. Listen in. Listen in. Listen in. All right.
Okay, so can you give me your word that if you come out, fuck it, even if you don't come out victorious,
I know I'm gonna come out victorious.
will you fight me
okay.
next? Will you fight me next?
If I
This is Shakur Stevenson before his fight. Before Ryan Garcia's fight. They're on Spaces. This is the same social media platform where Ryan Garcia and I'm going to break down some parts. On here, he's not intoxicated, y'all, but yet he made it perfectly clear he was drinking and he's been smoking. Hey, I admit, I do it. This, that, and the other. That's what he was saying to the people. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I drink and smoke just like everybody else. I'm not perfect. But Shakur Stevenson was pleading because Shakur went through a lot. He had Frank Martin walk away from him. You know what I'm saying? And, he called himself doing good business. And he just recently said, I don't want to sign for no guaranteed $3 million per fight. They up here pushing the wheelbarrow, talking about he's gonna sign with Mayweather Promotions pops it. Then it's Jaron. Then it's goddamn Mars and Pluto. Go ahead.
I don't get the rematch with Tank, I will do it. You got my word. You have my word. You got my word. You have my word. Don't get the rematch with Tank, I will do it. You got my word. You have my word.
You said
If
what?
I don't get the rematch with Tank, you have my word. We'll fight.
Shakur, you going to?
Okay, cool.
Does that work?
That's all I want to
You
hear.
got my
bro.
word.
Yeah, that's all I want to hear.
For
bro.
sure.
That's all.
So what you heard was Ryan Garcia telling Shakur Stevenson that he'll fight him if he doesn't get the rematch with Tank Davis. Now, if you've seen what recently happened, Kenny Ellis, Team Tank Davis, said after the racist rant, he's not getting a rematch with them. But what some people are trying to put together, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to piece these paper crochet, you know what I'm saying? Piece these freaking marbles together and say, well, this marble over here was made back in 2017. And you see the shade of gold blended in with the blue. The violet is, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to put anything together and make it seem right, but interesting to the boxing fans, because this, in order for you to be a boxing fan, you have to have some type of abnormality. You gotta be somewhat dysfunctional. But Ryan Garcia had told Shakur Stevenson in a sort of way, yeah, he'll fight. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't, I have to correct myself. He had already fought. If he don't get the rematch, you know what I'm saying, with Tank Davis, yeah, he'll fight Shakur Stevenson. You know how verbal agreements, I mean, all you have to do is just go to Diddy James and Errol Spence. But that was just a verbal agreement on spaces. Now, you understand that if you agree to something on spaces, that is binding. Don't you ever agree to something on spaces, because that's a binding contract, signed, sealed, delivered. Shakur Stevens say, hey, if you don't get the rematch with Tank, you'll fight me. You'll fight me. Now, some people are running with this already. You know what I'm saying? Some people are running with this. This is how boring boxing can get, y'all. Real talk. This is how boring boxing can get. Let me take you to another one right quick. All right? Let me take you to another set of audio in this same live.
Each other and amateurs.
Easy fight for me. Okay, answer my question. Was it an easy fight?
I don't believe.
Now, this is Showbiz the Adult audio, and he's talking about the spaces where Ryan and Shakur Stevens is talking about them fighting each other in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Now, you want to talk about how crazy the fight fans feel. Why do we feel this way? Why do we feel this way? Because they're still talking about the amateurs. Devin Haney and freaking Ryan Garcia was talking about the amateurs. Dan's freaking Shakur Stevenson trying to prove to everybody he beat Ryan in the amateurs.
If it was an easy fight, for you, I felt like I won the fight. You felt like
You
you
don't
won the
feel
fight.
like that, bro. You got. I know you feel like.
Bro,
like,
you know how many people told me I won after the
Nobody.
fight finished?
Your
They were like, you won
family
that.
probably told you that, bro. Your
No,
family
they
always
did not,
told
bro.
you
Everybody
won, bro.
knew about us.
Well, Ryan Garcia.
See, that right there, you have people who's trying to run with now Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia may potentially fight. Now, Ryan's suspended to next year, which this topic is good to fill, some minutes while I'm doing this live, okay? To get me to this to the hour mark or whatever. It's good for conversation. But check this out though. What does it matter? What does it matter? To even bring this up to the surface, we have to, some of y'all have to stop being ants and opportunists, bro, and just bringing up any old topic, because it makes boxing media bring in, more clowns for the carnival. You know what I'm saying? You don't need any more clowns to the carnival, but it just seems like whenever somebody wants an entertainment, they want to bring in another topic. And then people that don't know, the casuals, they look at it like, is that really going to happen? Well, no. Why you say that, man? It is, man. They in the same divisions. No, Ryan's not in 135 no more. He's not even at 140. Shakur is still at 2 divisions low. If they want to push this fight, it's going to be at a catch weight between 40 and 47, period. Ryan is not going to make the same amount of money he made fighting Shakur Stevenson that he made with Tank. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't care what you did in the Olympics. It's not going to freaking happen. Okay. And then also people have to understand that between now and August 3rd, according to how the Boots fight goes, I'm hoping Boots go in there and perform well so they won't be dogging him out. That would be for Ryan Garcia talking about black people, to the media start talking about black people, to them changing up and talking about another black person. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's going to be. It's just going to be Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go from Ryan talking about black people, you know what I'm saying, coming off disrespecting Haney and all that shit, and then talking about black people and Muslims and all that, and then talk about Shakur Stevenson, his performance, and him going back and forth, to talking about Ennis. That's why I'm hoping Ennis switch up the flow and go in there and dominate Avanesyan, so we can kind of get some positive freaking vibes heading into August. We need some positive vibes, y'all. This negativity is out of control. It's really out of control. The negativity is out of control. So, Ennis, I'm just letting you know, if you don't go in there and get this man up out of there, I say 3 rounds, but there's some people out here that's going to definitely give you under 6. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the 6th round, because we already seen that twice. There needs to be some separation here. The anticipation needs to, the anticipation is what it is. Anticipation along with the expectation should not exceed the domination, if you feel what I'm saying there, Ennis. But for Shakur Stevenson, he's not going to get this fight anytime soon. And when Ryan comes off of his suspension, no one's going to be calling for a goddamn Ryan Garcia Shakur Stevenson fight. Because I don't know how Shakur is going to, redeem himself if he don't fight anybody worth any value. Like, yes, if he gets a William Cepeda, kudos. Let's see you in there with William Cepeda. Go in there and do what you're supposed to do. And then whatever happens with Tank, I'm not sure who he's fighting next. But whatever happens with Tank, if he definitely locks that in with Lomachenko, cool. Now we'll have 2-2. Now we'll have two champions, and we may potentially see Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson. But I don't think no way, shape, or form we're going to see Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. I don't think we're going to see that. So when you see this floating around out here, I don't know, man. It's just some people don't freaking read and do their research. They just run with shit. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson, he's suspended to next April, man. He said, I'm taking Boots by decision, 450, no money in the KO. Okay. Plus, David knows he's the measuring stick. That's what's up, man. So you're saying it's plus 450? I haven't seen that. I'm not saying you're lying. Let me check something out. I know you tripping. It ain't no way. It's no way logically that makes any sense. But then to put Boots at a 450, that makes no sense at all, brother. I'm going to be honest with you. That sounds good on the thread. You know what I'm saying? That sounds good. But there's no way Boots is going to, that's the money line. There's no way that's the money line. Let me see what you might be talking about. Will the fight go the distance 500? That might be what you're talking about. And it's by decision or technical decision, plus 500. So unless you betting for only thing I see over here is if it's under 2.5, it's plus 450. If it's under 2.5, you know what I'm saying? If it's under 2.5, it's plus 450. I didn't mean to get off track, but I'm just saying. What did you mean, Cigar? I'm taking Boots by decision plus 450. Okay, so that's what you had. Okay. I didn't think it was going to be that type of money by decision. But yes, I see on the site I'm looking at, decision plus 500. So I got you. I mean, I got you. I'm not deeply in the betting like that. That's blunts and, them the experts to do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got you. All right. I got to take the 450 if true. It's 450 on the decision. That's not the money line. The money line is just crazy. Like they have him winning. But as far as decision, I mean, I want to laugh at it now that somebody's on here, cigars, Suge up here talking about plus 450 decision. When my thumbnail said 3 rounds or less, like that's the only, I didn't go deep enough. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go deep enough with the thumbnail. I should have put a freaking, a plus 450, plus 500 decision. I didn't want to go at him like that. I'm not here to go at Boots on that. I want to see him go in there and dominate, bro. That's why I put the two people behind him. You know what I'm saying? Because they get the job done. You know what I'm saying? They get the job done in brutal fashion. They don't sit up here and half do it. So, yeah, plus 50 for a decision. Haynes say he gonna take that. Dang. Y'all up here telling me you don't even have confidence this man gonna get. It's 12 rounds, man. 12 rounds, man. 3 minutes. You trying to tell me 3 minutes per round for 12 rounds equal a total of 36 in-ring minutes? That's not a good start. I'm gonna be honest. That's not a good start. That's not a good start hearing, listeners, hearing the audience saying they're taking 450 for the decision. I came in here with very solid intent not to be disrespectful. And then y'all come in here and really go against the thumbnail. I said 3 rounds or less, and y'all saying the man gonna go to the decision. Y'all saying the man gonna go to the decision, bro. Forget the 3 rounds or less. Forget the 6 rounds or less. Y'all already talking about putting money on the goddamn decision. That's disrespectful. Hey, Ennis, listen. When I put the thumbnail up, I ain't had nothing to do with somebody coming over here already saying they taking a 450 for the decision. I didn't do that, man. I didn't go as deep as I could on the thumbnail because I want you to go in there and dominate. Okay? Now, like I said before, you need to have one of those performances so this type of, the people in there taking shots at you, so this don't happen too often. You want them to go in there and say, "Oh man, I'm taking that. He gonna knock him out in the 3rd round. I'm taking that. That's plus 1,200. You know what I'm saying? That's plus 1,200. I think it's gonna go there. I think let me see what it is in 3 rounds. Let me see what the betting is. Okay, so I already told you if it's under 2.5, it's plus 450. You know what I'm saying? I doubt he get him up out of there in the 1st round. You know what I'm saying? Under 1.5. But if he stops him in the 3rd round, it's plus 900. This is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Jaron Ennis in the 3rd round plus 900. Look, the 2nd round plus 1,100. Oh, good money. Can he get him up out of there? Don't fall for it, y'all. You know why? I might go a little bit? Because he's at the the Wells Fargo. He's at the Wells Fargo. I don't know, man. No, I don't want to do that. But most of the time they'll say, "Oh, man." Just like Shakur Stevenson said, like, I ain't want to go up there and get him up out of there. Man, come on now. This is his first time fighting at the Wells Fargo Center. So you have to take that in consideration, deep consideration, whether he carries Avanesyan, whether he carry him into around the 4th or 5th round. Is he going to do that? Because that's highly possible, 4th or 5th round. And get him up at the sixth round. At the 6th round, it's plus 800. At round 5, it's plus 800. Round 4 is plus 800. So it's pretty good money up there. I ain't mean to jump off topic, but if you're doing the group betting, round 1 or 2 plus 550, 3 or 4, 7 plus 375, man. I apologize, man, for getting off topic, but some of y'all's in there just being a little bit disrespectful to Jaron Ennis after I said 3 rounds or less. And they saying, "Hey, it goes the distance. F what the thumbnail says." I just said, damn. I'm just giving the man 3 rounds. And y'all saying, no, he's going the distance. I'm putting money on that. Look, Jaron Ennis to go, the 10 and 12 to get him up out of there. It's plus 600. For Avanesyan, it's plus 6,600. Ooh, that's good money. That's good money. Look, they have another group betting. For Ennis to win in rounds 1 through 4 plus 225. Hey, man, I'm going to recommend y'all better get a hold of this money. Look, you gotta win something. Rounds 5 through 8 plus 165. Then they have a round group betting again. With high 1 through 6 is minus 105. Round 7 to 12 plus 160 for Ennis. When will the fight end? Round 1 plus 12. Man, they have so many freaking rounds, bro. When will the fight end? Round 1 and 2, 500. 3 and 4 plus 350. Good Lord. Well, people, See what I'm talking about? People, just coming here and I mean, they have round betting without any particular fighter. Just to fight. Man, they have like 3 groups. Let me see. Yeah, 3 groups of round betting. When will the fight end? Rounds 1 through 4. They're giving you every opportunity to win some money, dog. They're giving you every opportunity based off what Crawford did. Really, it's gonna be people going for rounds 5 through 8 plus 150, or rounds 1 through 4. I mean, people gonna be on this month. Let me see what Haynes got to say. I'm not up here advocating for you all to go out here. He said, I like Boost, but he hasn't shown me he can push the throttle enough to be like Bud and force KO. But I hope he does. It would be great to have a new guard stand out. Yeah. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. People are also looking at his fight with Villa too. And then they say, dang, look how long it took him to get Villa up out of there. He was hitting Villa with some shit. David Avanesyan does not fight like Villa. So that you have to factor that into the equation when you're dropping your money on the bet too. Like the 450 isn't that far off. When you're talking about, quality of opposition, also you have to weigh in the fight camp that David Avanesyan had. Will it come down to him tiring out? I don't know. And then with the 3 to 6 rounds, the betting's going to be tricky for this fight, because I know there's some people out there that's going to be betting that it don't go past 3 rounds because they heard WCS talking about it. There's going to be some people out here willing to make the bet, bro. Seriously. There's going to be some people out here willing to risk it. I wouldn't go that far. If David wins, it have the in a total panic worse than Crawford. I don't know, man. I don't think they are totally attached to Boost like that. Yeah, you have some stragglers that want to support him, but they haven't really been doing a great job with putting his name out there, bro. You know what I'm saying, Haynes? They haven't really been consistent with showing their most loyal support for Boost Ennis heading into this fight. I haven't heard too much anything across the board from them guys to build up this fight. And it's going down in the Wells Fargo Center. That's the first time he's fighting in there, man. That's a big deal. So that's why I think for sure that it may not end early. But they have so many group bets. You can't pass it up. You gotta put some money on that. I wouldn't say so much to the fighter, but when will the fight end? You gotta put some money on that, Shawty. Whoever you are, man, you gotta put some money on that. I'm serious. You gotta put some money on that. But at the end of the day, man, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. I'm at an hour. Jaron, don't let this thumbnail scare you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You must dominate. One has to outperform the other. You must dominate the expectations. They expecting you to win, but you need to go in there and dominate so you can give them a lot more than what they was expecting. You feel me? You got to. It's mandatory, bro. Shout out to y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Continue to support the channel. And, to be honest with you, let me see what I'm looking like over here. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. You know what I'm saying? I had like 20 some people that probably pulled up. Only like 13 likes, man. Y'all just be very, very stingy with the likes when it comes to WCS. I mean, God dang. Well, I appreciate y'all though. You know what I'm saying? As always, continue to support and tune in. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.